It all began with a warning letter stuffed into my mailbox, signed with a flourish but dripping with passive-aggressive venom. Phrases like unapproved driveway dimensions and visual discord with neighborhood snow patterns practically screamed suburban superiority. My driveway, for the record, was perfectly legal, crafted with a permeable concrete system I designed myself. I'm an architect after all. But apparently, Linda from the HOA had opinions that trumped engineering credentials. At first, I chalked it up to a bored suburbanite's power trip, the kind where an HOA becomes someone's entire identity. By the second letter, though, which accused me of excessive snow runoff onto shared curb space, I knew this wasn't your average winter spat. My driveway sat at the bottom of a gentle slope, naturally collecting a bit of snowmelt from the sidewalk, nothing unusual for our quiet cul-de-sac. But Linda's house was right across from mine, and I started noticing her snowblower patterns shifting. The tracks zigzagged across the street, stopping neatly at my driveway's edge. The first time, I figured it was sloppy aim. The second time, I caught her smug grin as she, accidentally, pushed a wall of snow onto my property during my Zoom meeting. By the third time, she waited until I'd just finished shoveling, sweat still on my brow, then strolled over, dragging her wheeled snowblower like a cartoon VY lane. "Oops," she chirped. "Must have misjudged the wind again." The pile she left was dense, icy, and suspiciously rectangular, like she'd measured it for maximum annoyance. That's when I saw pettiness in her smile, lips curled like a teacher handing back a botched art project. Worse, she did it in front of 3 neighbors, all of whom gave me the same spineless shrug when I looked for backup. Everyone feared Linda. She was the HOA's self-proclaimed queen, never elected but loud and litigious enough to rule our street like a fiefdom. She once fined a guy for non-seasonal mulch. She forced a family to repaint their mailbox because its teal shade wasn't in the HOA's approved palette of beige, gray, and misery. Now she'd zeroed in on me because my driveway drained better than her cracked, bargain bin concrete slab from a 2015 contractor blowout. The irony was almost poetic. She accused me of snow etiquette violations while breaking 3 local laws by dumping snow across a public road. I tried filing a complaint, but the HOA's dispute resolution board was just Linda, her husband Greg, who nodded too much and said too little, and their jittery golden retriever Max, listed as the board's emotional support consultant. No joke. The next day, I got an official violation notice for aggressive shoveling during HOA hours, which Linda's new rulebook defined as 11:30 a.m. to 1 p.m., weather permitting. She even included a blurry photo of me shoveling at 10:45 a.m., underlined for emphasis. It was clear, Linda had declared war, and her weapon was snow, not lawsuits or shouting matches, but snow. Poetic, really, since snow melts, revealing everything beneath. So I got to work. I documented every pile, every time-stamped shovel attack. I installed a weatherproof camera aimed at the street between our houses and built a snow measuring stake into my driveway, marked in inches for courtroom-ready EVY denke. Linda escalated, coordinating with neighbors Plowshare VYCES to sweep overflow onto my side. I caught one driver in the act. He mumbled, "She said you were fine with it." I wasn't. But this wasn't just about snow, it was about control. Linda saw my sleek, heated driveway as a threat to her suburban empire, and she wanted to bury me in snow and red tape. What she didn't know was that I had plans, literal blueprints and metaphorical ones. This wasn't just about snow anymore, it was about design, physics, and a precision-engineered counterattack. Unlike Linda, my pettiness came with a degree and a license to build. By week 4, Linda had gone full HO warlord. After what I call the blizzard weekend, when I woke to find my driveway and porch buried under a sculpted snow mountain, I knew she had accomplices. My quiet architect brain shifted into high gear. I mapped our streets on angles, plow routes, wind patterns, even where Linda parked her SUV when she wasn't playing HOA enforcer. I used a laser level, a thermal camera, and a drone. If she wanted war, I'd deliver one measured to code. First, I needed to confirm the conspiracy. I posted a vague note in the neighborhood forum. Anyone else tired of winter sabotage? 3 DMs followed. A single mom said Linda pressured her to aim her snowblower at my driveway to stay in HOA favor. An elderly neighbor admitted Linda offered free salt if he plowed early, before my cameras rolled. The third, from an anonymous account, read, "Check January meeting minutes, page 3. There it was. Linda had snuck in an emergency snow redistribution clause, allowing collective snow load balancing for street harmony, targeting over wide sloping driveways. She'd passed it herself with a fake vote and a signature from Max, the dog. I got petty architect level petty. I emailed the HOA aka Linda for permission to install snow sculptures for community morale. Her reply was oddly eager. Keep it tasteful. So I built a 6-foot snow figure of Linda, complete with a clipboard, pursed lips, and a shovel jutting from its backside. Next, I added snow tombstones. R.I.P. common sense, here lies driveway ethics, gone but not plowed, mutual respect. They faced her bay window. Passive aggression had gone avant-garde. Predictably, Linda snapped. A new violation letter arrived, accusing me of emotional vandalism via sculpture and psychological harm to board members. It was signed by her and Max with a paw print in green ink. But then my neighbor Sam, a retired engineer who loathed HO drama, texted. Caught her slipping on her own ice pile this morning. Ring cam footage. Want it? I sent back 17 heart emojis. Linda had obsessed over burying my driveway but neglected her own path. The video was her in a snowsuit, arms flailing, clipboard soaring into a bush. She limped inside, pride shattered, and her snowblower sat untouched for days. Still, she doubled down, posting 2 plastic signs on the communal lawn. No dumping, no drainage, no exceptions. A neighbor joked, do we salute these? Another dubbed her Snow Furor. Even Greg started parking around the corner to avoid the signs. Meanwhile, I sent my drone footage, neighbor statements, and camera logs to the city's property dispute office. Linda had violated 4 municipal codes, including easement misuse and blocking public access. Best of all, Section 8.5.14 tampering with a resident's egress and snow carried a DULA 500 fine per offense. I counted 17 piles. I also discovered Max's emotional support tag was an Etsy fake, so I filed a fraud complaint against the HOA's paperwork. I wasn't ready to strike yet. I wanted Linda sweating, teetering on one final overreach. And she delivered violating federal building code. It ended not with a blizzard but a deck. Linda's rickety, HOA-approved disaster, built 6 years ago by her unlicensed cousin, Mike, whose credentials were an online patio design certificate. After my zoning complaints and yard art, Linda's need for control spiked. She announced a winter harmony gala on her property, mandatory for all dues-paying residents, promising cider and a lecture on snow redistribution ethics. I RSVP'd with a camera pen in my pocket. Her deck was suspiciously snow-free but structurally dubious, warped posts, uneven joists, a disaster I'd clocked via drone. That day, she packed 20 sewn people onto it, all clutching hot drinks while she presented driveway snow etiquette, lessons in symmetry. Slide 6 featured my driveway circled in red, labeled problem zone. I recorded everything, her mocking my concrete, bragging about snow mass reallocation, and at minute 42, a loud crack. The deck lurched, sending 3 guests sliding into her hedge maze, which she called Versailles-inspired, but looked like bad broccoli. Chaos erupted. Max bolted. Linda, soaked in cider, yelled, "This is still an HOA event." The city inspector, tipped off by my anonymous complaint about unpermitted deck loads, arrived within the hour. No permits, no licensed contractor, substandard railings, and an illegal space heater zip-tied to a beam. That's not just illegal, the inspector said. It's a fire hazard. Linda got 3 citations, a condemnation notice, and orders to vacate the deck until rebuilt to code. Watching her read the notice, drenched in cinnamon cider, was like seeing a dictator lose her throne. Then the neighbors turned. Sam spoke first, then Lisa, the single mom Linda coerced. An old man called out her wind chime fines. "Sweet Mrs. Carter said, I don't like your clipboard," and left. The spell broke. Linda's empire was melting, and I hadn't even played my drone card. She fought back, filing a cease and desist against my weaponized drone surveillance. Handwritten in cursive, signed, Linda Harper, HA Ethics Chair. It was laughable. I walked into City Hall with a 37-page dossier. Photos, logs, drone VYUs, neighbor statements, and proof her new shed sat on a gas line. violating 2 safety codes and a homeland security rule. The zoning officer grinned, "We've been waiting for this." Within 72 hours, an investigation launched. Linda's shed, fence, driveway fill, and light-polluting mailbox were flagged. I hosted a zoning awareness barbecue, sans Linda, grilling and handing out complaint filing guides. 6 new reports hit the city that week. Linda unraveled. Her reconciliation brunch floped no attendees. Her 3-page HOA newsletter ranted about rogue architects. No one cared. She tried banning unauthorized gatherings, but even Greg wouldn't sign it. Then she went nuclear. She hired Mike to stake a new fence 2 feet into my yard, claiming a fuzzy property line. I had blueprints, maps, and drone proof. The county surveyor confirmed her stakes broke my lot and setback rules. Result: a DULA 2000 fine, stakes removed, and a red citation sign on her lawn for a week. I'd wave daily, "Nice day, huh?" She'd clutch her clipboard and seethe. Her final gambit was wild. She motioned to bulldoze my driveway, claiming its gray tone disrupted snow aesthetics. At the HOA meeting, she rambled about VY Sewell Harmony. Sam snorted, "It's not a death ray." I countered, revealing her misuse of HOA funds. DULA 3,800 for landscaping that never happened. DULA 2,154 for her backyard pergola. The room froze. A lawyer, representing 3 residents, stood, "We're freezing HOA spending pending a misappropriation probe." Linda sputtered, but Max sealed it, peeing on her purse mid-meeting. Laughter erupted. Tom cried. I nearly fainted. The county opened a case. Linda stepped down, her house hit with a lien. Neighbors renamed the group chat Shovel Squad, with a profile pic of Linda's horrified face as Max marked her bag. Her deck was condemned, her mailbox lights banned, her zoning file thick. Richard left her, taking Max. A news clip aired, HOA horror, suburban dictator faces uprising. Comments exploded with stories of her pumpkin measuring and curtain color threats. The HOA, now led by Tom, voided 70 fan tram of Linda's fines. Her house went up for sale below market, with a catch, as pending HOA and city compliance. No takers wanted her drama-ridden lot. A young couple asked me about the neighborhood. It's better now, I said, eyeing my pristine driveway. They bought her place for DULA 60,000 less than asking. Linda paid fines, legal fees, and deck demolition out of pocket. In the HOA closet, we found her box, complaint forms, snow sketches, a fake badge, and a deranged snow superiority manifesto, with flowcharts on psychological snow dominance. We framed the Linda scroll and read it at Shovel Fest, our post-snow community tradition. I toast to symbolic submission, yearly mug raised. Linda tried to bury us, but she sank in paperwork, shame, and bad choices. My driveway? Still perfect.